Good morning, boys. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be continuing the What If Asta was in Hunter x Hunter. This is part 6, so if you haven't seen the previous parts, go check those out. They're really cool, I think. I mean, I'm the one that did it, but yeah, without further ado, let's hop right into this. After the events with the Phantom Troop, Gon, Asta, and Killua go to the Southern Peace Auction to acquire Greed Island. Rather than attempt to directly obtain it, the three plan to let someone else buy it and then enter the game for that client. Once the bid starts, the boys raise their bid as high as they can, but are ultimately outdone by Badara. After the auction, they ask Badara and his assistant, Sesgara, but they decline as they believe they're not strong enough. To prove them wrong, the three train, and a few days later, the three show off their Nen abilities. Asta here shows off his anti-Nen, which surprises Sesgara as he's never seen anything like it, and it may be useful in completing Green Island. After passing, the three celebrate with Leorio. The boys then go to the mansion to enter the game. Once all three enter the grounds, they can immediately tell that they are being watched, when suddenly a man appears with a book who places a spell on Killua. Asta charges after him, but sadly he gets away with another spell, and Asta is left confused and begins forming the opinion that he doesn't like the video game, having never played one. The three then enter a town where they meet the head of the Alliance, Nichols, who invites them to a meeting and asks if they'd like to join an alliance. Asta wants to, but the boys decline and begin walking around the city, unaware that a little girl is stalking them. The boys end up on the run and see that the little girl is impressively managing to keep up. It turns out that they are confronted by sick ninjas who need the three's help. After giving them help, the three continue to a canyon where they are attacked and, due to their inexperience, start losing. While this is happening, the girl watches and comments, proving herself to be knowledgeable, but she is ignored by the three boys. After finally listening to her advice, she reveals herself to be a woman with 40 years of experience named Biscuit and declares that she will be their mentor. However, Killua and Gon decline the offer. Asta, however, convinces the two to take her guidance as he hopes to gain more knowledge about his powers. They begin training, and not only does Biscuit train Asta, she also learns about Asta's powers and how they work in a game that bases itself off Nen. As she begins to explain this to Asta, he begins overheating and not learning a thing. Following this, they continue to Macedora, but Biscuit has them dig their way through the rocky area with shovels. At one point, Gon finds the rocks to be too tough for the shovel to be effective. He concocts the idea of letting aura flow through the shovel to enhance his digging ability. While this works for Gon and Killua, it doesn't for Asta. Instead, he has to work even harder to keep up with the other two, which motivates him. Here he uses his two swords and swings at the rocks, gaining more power on each swing. They finally reach Macedora, only for Biscuit to command them to return to where they started. Biscuit then makes them fight monsters that they before couldn't beat. Their next step in training is aura training. Asta uses negative Nen instead, and while training, Biscuit notices a black aura beginning to form around him, which she worries about. They continue training like in canon, with Asta becoming better at using his swords, and Gon learning his move Rock. Killua then leaves for the Hunter exam and finishes it within hours. During this time, while Killua, Asta, and Gon aren't around, Bomber becomes more of a menace. Once Killua comes back, he's briefed on the situation, and Killua tells Gon to use contact to look at the other people whom they've met, and they notice Crollo, which confuses them. Some time passes, and the formed squad locates the pirate's base. Once one of the pirates, Bopopo, offers to take them to his boss if they manage to force him out of a circle, which is surrounded by fire. Killua easily beats one of the prisoners, which earns the group the right to meet their boss, Razor. Once they meet Razor, he offers a game where the first team to reach 8 points wins. Gon and Asta's team goes down 2-0, and like in canon, Killua forfeits his match, which makes Asta angry. The team then loses in basketball, and giving Razor 8 points. Gon, Asta, and Killua are furious at their defeat and go searching for a strong person with Biscuit and Gorenu. They teleport to Chrollo's location, where instead of him they meet with Hisoka. Asta is very confused by this still, not totally understanding how Greed Island works. Hisoka recommends to going to the city of Aya to find some more partners. After catching on Hisoka's plan, they leave Aya, and Gon decides to recruit Sasgara. Gon rechallenges Razor, and they begin to do well. However, after 4 matches, Razor suddenly changes the rules and decides that there will be a dodgeball game involving all players that is worth 8 points, which 8 players on each side. The random players with Gon decide to retreat after seeing Razor's deadly force, leaving Gon with only 7 players. Then Razor gets rid of the other 8 players on his team. He then reveals a bunch about Greed Island. Instead of the drawn-out match like in canon, Hisoka gets the idea to use Asta's anti-nen to catch the ball. Razor throws it as hard as he can, and Asta begins to catch the ball, but the sheer power of his throw begins to push Asta out. Like in canon, Gon, Killua, and Hisoka begin pushing him in the opposite direction. They manage to stop it, making them the winners. While it was a great catch, Asta's hands are destroyed, leaving him in sheer pain. While Asta gets bandaged up, Gon asks Razor about his father. Razor reveals his past with Jean and admits that he doesn't know where Jean is. The group is presented with the Plot of Beach card, but are then called by Genthru, demanding that they give him the Plot of Beach. After revealing that he's killed Gon's past teammates, Gon challenges Genthru to a fight, one to which Genthru accepts once he's finished with Sasgara. The bombers decide to go after Sasgara, leaving him to have the Plot of Beach. Sasgara agrees to buy time, while Gon and Asta concoct a plan to fight Genthru. While Genthru gets more cards for the fight, Asta, Gon, and Killua train with Biscuit. Once the battle starts, they begin their game of cat and mouse, and Asta is left with the goon Biscuit was going to fight. Instead of using game rules, as he still doesn't get them, Asta fights him with his 2 swords, which makes his opponent laugh. In Asta fashion, he charges head-on and outworks his opponent with 1 slash. Like in canon, everyone beats their opponents, and the bombers are restrained and surrender their cards to the group, with them now successfully obtaining 99 cards with number 0 remaining. A quiz is held to determine who gets it, and the questions are about details pertaining to the cards. Gon ends up getting most of them correct, getting the group the final card. Having achieved all the cards, a celebration is thrown with them entering a castle and meeting 2 game makers, List and Duen. Gives Gon a 3-slot holder, which allows him to take 3 restricted cards to reality. Gon offers to give them each a card, but Asta refuses as it's too complicated for him and didn't enjoy his time besides his training. Gon ends up taking Blue Planet, Paladin's Necklace, and Plot of Beach like in canon. With that, the 3 leave the game. Gon then makes an accompany card where he transports to an unknown location. And that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. If you've been enjoying it, then do what I just said, because it really helps out and motivates me to keep doing this. And yeah, I'll see you boys next time. Take care and peace.